What's up, interesting people on YouTube? So I'm gonna tell you guys about the time when I got pulled over by a helicopter. So this took place when I was probably like 19 years old. I had a full-time job at the time, so I kind of lavished out on cars, you know, like I like cars. And so I had this brand new G35, which at the time was a really amazing fucking car. And I used to always get pulled over because I was a young dude in a really nice car. Younger me and dude, bald head, flashy car, they just don't fucking mix, you know? So this one time, it's me and like 3 friends in the car, and we get like a 911 phone call from one of our friends in panic saying they stabbed him, and we finally got their location, and they happened to be like less than 5 minutes, well, less than 10-minute drive. We made it there in less than 5, you know. But when we got there, it turned out he had called us after everything had happened. So when we get there, it's nothing but police officers, first responders, you got the fire department, you got ambulances, and a whole bunch of police cars, right? So we just pull in slightly into the area where this happened, and we see one of our friends, and they're like, yeah, they took him to the hospital with the ambulance, you know. So I asked one of the ambulance, because I'm the one driving, I was like, which hospital? And he's like, some fucking hospital in LA, I think USC if I'm not mistaken. So it was a weird situation because now we're in Glendale, and we stayed the fuck out of Burbank and Glendale. It was just like, it was like going to Compton for black people, you know. It's like you just know you're gonna get fucked with the police over there, you know. So being Armenian, you just stayed the fuck out of Glendale, Burbank. You just knew you were gonna get fucked with, you know. So as soon as we get the address, boom, we hit the street, and as soon as we get on the street, like imagine like I just pulled into this lane, well, to the lane to my right, and across the light is the freeway entrance for the 5 South. So we take the 5 South, and as soon as the light turns green, I hit the gas. Now I didn't mash it, but I hit the gas. I'm the first car at the light. I just hit the gas and hit the freeway, and I'm kind of speeding to the hospital, you know, because we don't have any more information other than he got stabbed and he's at the hospital. Now, once we left that location, I believe one of our friends stepped out the car to stay there. So it was just me and another friend. And I did a lot of street racing, especially freeway racing. That was like something I was really into, you know. So I knew how to drive, and my friend keeps telling me like, slow down. And I'm telling him, bro, like I'm going 85, 90. I'm not like, it's late night. There's almost no cars. Like, what are you tripping on? It's like, bro, just slow down. But I'm like swerving traffic, you know, like not swerving violently or like driving reckless. I'm just smooth, you know, just changing my lanes and shit. And as I'm, you know, just going, splitting lanes, but I'm just keeping this constant speed of like 85, 90. And then I'm getting, so all of a sudden, like, it looks like middle of fucking summer on the freeway, and it trips me out for a second, and I had the music up and shit. So I'm looking around like, why is it so fucking bright all of a sudden, right? and I turn off the music, and I could hear on like on a loud mic or a bull mic, like, slow down, pull over. And I look up, and it's a fucking helicopter. And the reason why it got so bright is they put their bright ass fucking light right on top of the car, you know? And it literally like lit up the freeway like it was in the middle of the fucking day. So I see the helicopter from the sunroof, and the first exit was Los Feliz, you know? So we take the Los Feliz exit. I exit, like, I slow down to like maybe 20-30 miles an hour, you know what I'm saying? And as I exit and I'm making the turn for the exit, there's like 2 police cars. Now they're like with their lights blaring and shit, telling me, you know, pull over, do this, do that. And I pull over, and I'm just kind of like weirded out, like, where the fuck did this come from, you know? So when I finally pull over, man, this cop comes to my window, you know, they have their guns out and stuff. I'm like, you know, what the fuck you tripping on, man? You know, put your gun away and shit, you know? And he's like, dude, do you know if you're doing like 300 miles an hour, man? I've been following you since fucking Glendale. And I'm telling this dude, like, yo, you're not following me, man. Like, if you were following me, or if you had your lights on, I would have fucking noticed, you know? And he tells me, you didn't see me. I was not the car behind you, but the one behind that one, just before you entered the freeway. I was like, okay, so when did you turn your lights on? He's like, when I went on the freeway. But you were already gone. You just mashed the gas pedal and you just took off. I was like, so you're telling me I hit the freeway, you didn't see me no longer, you turned on your lights, and now you're telling me why I didn't fucking pull over? Because I didn't see your fucking lights, dude. You were nowhere in sight. He's like, dude, I was doing like 120 trying to catch up to you. I was like, bro, you weren't doing 120. I was doing like 85 the whole time, man. You know? And you're like, well, get the fuck out the car. You know, they tell the helicopter to leave. The helicopter leaves. He's like, so we're pulling you over because you left that scene in a hurry and whoop-de-whoop. And like, look, if you let us search the car for guns and stuff like that, I'll just give you a ticket and let you go. I was like, man, you're gonna give me a fucking ticket anyway, dude. Like, no, I don't want you searching my fucking car. He's like, well, I'm gonna search it anyway because you just left the fucking crime scene and whoop-de-whoop. And I'm thinking like, okay, man, helicopter, these dudes are kind of pissed, fucking whatever, man. I know the car is clean. Against my better judgment, I let them fucking search the car. They didn't find anything. They gave me a speeding ticket and let us go on our way. And as soon as they let us go on our way, my friend's like, bro, I told you to fucking slow down. I was like, bro, why? Did you see them? He's like, no. I was like, then what the fuck, man? Like, I'm going to a hospital, bro. You're telling me to slow down? Like, you drive fucking any slower than I do. And the funny thing is, this homie, he would race and he would speed and do all this crazy shit. He actually, him and his cousin, man, one day, so he had a 4-door G35 that he had really fixed up nice, man. That car got pulled over one time, and they said, like, this isn't a street legal car anymore. This is a full-blown race car. You have to go get it registered and whatever, or make the corrections, and then, but it wasn't like regular, you know, if you get a fix-it ticket, you get to drive the car, and then you go to a date, or you go to the sheriff's, and it's like, no, this car can't be on the street. You have to like tow it or whatever the fuck, or someone has to come And it's a lot of money and time involved in getting that car to be street legal again, right? But in the process, he decides to take this fucking car to Vegas. Now, I don't remember if he actually got it fixed and then he went to Vegas, or he just decided to go to Vegas. Either way, it wouldn't have surprised me. But what did happen is, on his way to Vegas, him and his cousin being the passenger, I guess he turned off his traction control because he had a bad habit of just, in his mind, the traction control slowed the car down, you know? So he would always turn off the traction control as soon as the car would start. So I guess doing 120, 130 miles an hour, he tries cutting a car off, and he fishtails the ass of the car. He swerves left, right, and the car rolls up a mountain, the mountainside. It literally rolls up and then rolls down. And he had not a fucking scratch on him. But if you saw this fucking car, you would think there's no way anyone survived this fucking thing. His cousin, on the other hand, he looked like a chipmunk, man. You couldn't see his eyes. He just, he was raccooned out, man. It was just black and blue across his eyes. There's barely any eyes, it was all swollen. So I guess as the car's turning, he grabs the door handle. Not the handle that opens your door, but there's grip usually on the door. So he grabs the door handle, which in the G35 was in an angle, so you can comfortably hold it with your hand. So he was holding it with his right hand as he's in the passenger. As the car rolled, the whole fucking thing ripped off and just stayed in his hand. And neither of them were wearing any seatbelts. They both survived, other than the fucked up face and some bruises on his cousin. The driver was completely fine. They were both completely fine. Insurance obviously didn't fucking cover it because, when you flip a car going over 100 miles an hour, they tend to blame you for that, rightfully so. And I remember that car was permanently parked in his garage, just as a memory to change his ways and shit, which he did. So that's the story of when I got pulled over by a police helicopter. Peace.